Today we're gonna make revision on geometry. To remember what we have studied before in the last first term. And try to remember it with each other. Exercise complete. Number 1. If measure of angle A equals 70 degrees, then the measure of the reflex angle A. How to find a reflex angle A? We must subtract 70 from 360 to find the reflex angle A. Like that. 360 minus 70, it will be equal to 190 degrees. Let's see exercise number 2. If angle X complements with angle Y, what is the meaning of complements? It means their sum equal 90 degrees, and the ratio between them are 1 to 2. Then, measure of angle X equals what? Yes. To find measure of angle X or measure of angle Y, we must do these steps. Let's see, we must write X to Y to sum and write the ratio under each other. The ratio of X, it will be 1, ratio of Y equals 2, and their sum, it will be 3. And he say their sum equal 90 because they are complementary. So we must write here in the sum 90 degrees. And by doing these steps to find X, 1 multiply 90 over 3, it will be measure of angle X equals 30. And by doing the same steps, 2 times 90 over 3 to find measure of angle Y equal 60 degrees. So finally, measure of angle X must be equal 30 degrees. Number 3, the acute angle supplements with what angle? What is the meaning of supplements? It means their sum must be equal 180. And he gave me the first one is acute angle, and he asked me about the type of second one. We know acute angle, it's a measure less than 90. If we suppose it's a measure, for example, 40 degrees. How to find the measure of the second one? By subtracting 40 from 180. For example, it will be the answer 140 degrees. So the acute angle supplements with what? 140, it means obtuse angle. So it is a rule, the acute angle supplements with obtuse angle. Number 4, the sum of a cumulative angle at a point is what? Yes, it will be equal 360 degrees. This is the answer. Number 5, if two straight lines intersect at a point, then each two vertically opposite angles are what? Yes, are equal in measure. Now we're gonna talk about how to deductive a proof, how to write a proof. This is the first lesson in second term in geometry. We must study it very well, okay, because we will use these rules in the next stage. For example, let's see the first one. He gave me here, if C belongs to AB straight line, find the measure of angle DCB, and he gave me measure of angle DCA equal 130 degrees. How to find the measure of angle BCD or DCB, and how to write it in a proof. Okay. If he gave me C belongs to AB straight line, it means there are a straight angle. That it means we can find this missing angle, yes, by subtracting 130 from 180 degrees. But how to write it in a proof? As a first step, we must write since and write this condition. In since C belongs to AB straight line. We write it in case if we have a straight angle. We must write this step. Since C, and this sign is called since. Since C belongs to AB straight line. Therefore, this is the second step. We deduce that measure of angle DCB equal 180 minus 130 equal 50 degrees. And don't forget to write the reason of this exercise, a straight angle. This is the first type of proof. Let's see more exercise. Number 2 here, he gave me if AB straight line intersect with CD straight line at point M, then find the measure of angle BMC. How to find measure of angle BMC? And what is the meaning of AB straight line intersect with CD straight line equal point M? That it means there are vertically opposite angles. When we see these conditions, it means there are two vertically opposite angles. How to find measure of angle BMC by these steps? Let's see. We must write as a first step, since AB straight line intersect with CD straight line at point M, we write this in sense. Okay? We deduce that, therefore, measure of angle BMC must be equal measure of angle AMD equal 150 degree because they are vertically opposite angle, and we abbreviate as VOA like that. Okay, let's see more exercise. Number 3, if measure of angle AMB equal 80 degree and measure of angle AMC equal 106 degree, he asked me to find measure of angle BMC. How to find measure of angle BMC? Okay, when he gave me all angles around one point, and we haven't here any straight line, so we must use what to find the missing angle? We must use the rule of a cumulative angle around one point. Their sum equals 360, and he gave me all angles except one angle, BMC. To find it, we must write it by this way, since measure of angle AMP plus measure of angle AMC plus measure of angle BMC must be equal 360. This is sense for accumulative angles. Therefore, measure of angle BMC equals 360 minus open brackets 160 plus 80. It will be equal 120 degree, and the reason here accumulative angles. Okay, now we have finished this first part. How to write sense or therefore for a straight angle by this way. Don't forget, we must mention the condition as a first time in sense, and we deduce that in the second step, so we write here therefore. The second one, this sense for VOA, when we have here each two vertically opposite angle, we must write this condition in sense, and we deduce that. And number 3, if we have many angles around one point, we must write this in sense by this way, and we deduce therefore to find the missing angle by this way. Let's see more exercise on this lesson. Follow. Here he gave me AB ray parallel with CD ray, and he gave me CB line segment parallel with DE ray. Okay, then he asked me to find measure of angle C, and he asked me to find measure of angle B. Let's remember how to find measure of angle C by using these two parallel straight line, DE parallel with CB. Remember with me, if we have two parallel straight lines and make letter U like that, it means measure of angle D plus measure of angle C must be equal 180 because they formed letter U. Remember with me. So they are two interior angles. How to find measure of angle C? We subtract 100 from 180 to find measure of angle C. It will be equal 80 degree. But how to write it in sense and therefore I means improve? We can write by this way. As a first time, we must write in sense. What about the two straight lines which are parallel to help us to find the measure of angle C like that? Since BC, straight line or line segment, whatever, parallel to DE like that. Therefore, measure of angle C equal 180 minus 100 degree equal 80 degree, and don't forget to write the reason beside it, because they are two interior angles. This is the first required. How to find the second one? By using another two parallel straight line. We have here BA ray parallel to CD, and they formed what? They formed letter Z. We see that ABC and DCB, both of them are two alternate angles because they formed letter Z. So what about the missing angle here, P? It will be equal with measure of angle C because the two alternate angles are equal in measure. But how to write it in proof? By doing the same previous steps. We must write as a first, what about the two straight lines which are parallel? We have here, since AB straight line parallel with CD straight line like that, and therefore measure of angle B must be equal measure of angle C equal 80 degree because they alternate angles. Okay. Exercise number 5. In the opposite figure, he gave me here two triangles, and he gave me AB equal with AD equal 7 centimeter, and the measure of angle BAC equal measure of angle DAC equal 30 degree each one, and he gave me only measure of angle D equal 50 degree, and he gave me the length of DC equal 5 centimeter like that. What about the required here? The first required, prove triangle ACD congruent to triangle ACB. How to prove that? Yes, let's remember, we have studied it before. How to prove two triangles are congruent? If we have any one of 4 cases, we have studied it before. Let's see. We have here AB equal with AD. This is a side. And this angle equal with this angle, BAC equal with angle DAC, the second given. And the AC here is a common side. So what about the name of this case? We have here 3 given, 2 sides and the included angle between them. So the case it will be SAS. How to write it in sense and therefore like that? We must as a first write sense in triangle ACD, common triangle ACB, and write the first one, AB equal AD, yes. Number 2, this is the side. Measure of angle BAC, yes, equal with measure of angle DAC, this is an angle. Number 3, AC here is a common side S. And don't forget to write the name of this case beside it, SAS. So we deduce that, therefore, triangle ACD congruent with triangle ACB. This is the first required. What about the second one? How to find measure of angle B and the length of CB? By using this previous rule, we have, remember, two triangles are congruent. Okay, so when we have two congruent triangles, it means all corresponding angles are equal in measure and all corresponding sides also are equal in length. So we must use this rule to find measure of angle B. Measure of angle B here must be equal measure of angle D because they are two congruent triangles. And what about the length of CB? It will be equal the length of CD, so it will be equal 5 centimeter. So when we deduce anything, we must write the sign therefore like that. Therefore, measure of angle B equal 50 degree and CB equal 5 centimeter. And thanks for your listening and goodbye in the next session.